seconds don't seem to be going. Okay, now it's recording.
In an earlier video, I mentioned the time that my family, my father, my sister, my mother, and I spent during the Second World War on the Redmond Farm near Marshall, Missouri. Here, we not only had 25 head of Hereford white-faced cattle, but we had Hampshire hogs. And one of them was given to me by my father as a pet, as a friend, and her name was Strawberry. And I fed her every day. I brought the slops out of the garbage and everything, and put it in the trough, and she loved what I brought, and she seemed even to love me. But then, during the war, as any people who lived through that period, the Second World War, anything that was made for children was made with the most meager of materials. If you had a wagon, it had wooden wheels, not secured by a bolt or anything that was really stable, but the wheels would break off. And when it came to clothes, anything like leather, forget it. It was made out of cardboard. My belt would break. And then I saw my father's belt, leather belt, with belt holes. And I really envied it. And so I started talking to him about maybe cutting it down to my size, which he did for me, very meticulously, in our shop. With an awl, he made holes. He made holes for so I could tighten it up for Sunday, after Sunday dinner, before dinner, tighter, and then when the belly had expanded after a good Sunday dinner, there was a hole for the belt hole for that, and it fit perfectly. And so we tried it on, and so and he said, so what? He said to me, what are you going to trade me for that? Oh, I said, well, how about Strawberry, my pig? So
sad.
It's not. It didn't end really sadly. So Strawberry went to market. He got $40 for her. My pet. And pigs love us. We eat them, but they still love us. When you come, if you come, we went out to a farm where Katya and her husband, who was the farmer, lived, and the pigs ran up to the fence which penned them in, and they stood up on their hind legs, and they were oinking and saying, "Hi, thank you for coming to see us. We're so glad to have you come out." They were lonely for company. And that's the book I'm reading of Samuel Beckett. It's called Company. So what is company all about? Others. Others of the same species to talk to. Have conversation and fellowship. So you're not alone. You have somebody to talk to. Well, anyway, these pigs were so sweet. Piggies. And I felt sort of bad about Strawberry going to market.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you hold that chocolate any longer, it's going to melt
all
all
right.
over your hands once you eat it.
So the upshot of the story is, I found out later that my father had not taken the $40 in exchange for his belt for himself, but he had put it in a savings account for me at the bank in Marshall. So I did not part with that money in giving up my dear Strawberry.
So Strawberry was sent to slaughter?
Surely. Somebody ate her bacon, and maybe a ham, or some ribs, I hope they barbecue, or some way cooked. Anyway, here in Normandy, in Cromer-Mere, they have a day every year when they talk about Saint-Cochon, and our neighbor used to often bring his big sow to the fair. Francois Allard would bring his huge sow, as well as our wonderful, we call them wuzzies. They were our
waterfowl.
Our geese.
They were smaller than geese.
Hmm?
They were not geese.
But he brings our geese, actually our geese, which we gave to him because they became a big a nuisance, because they would come, they were so lonely, they would want to talk to us, and they'd tap on our door, our glass door. Even after we'd fed them and taken a walk with them up to the pond, and then they shit all over our chairs. It was a lot of hard to clean up. So we took him up to Francois. He was glad to have him. He had other geese, so they had friends up there above us, our place. And let me just complete the story. So my father, if he'd really been a stern father, taught me a lesson, wanted to teach me a lesson, he could have said, well, thank you for making that deal. I'm glad it said, is the belt comfortable? You want it tighter? And he could have said, well, that $40 you gave me for it, I went and I did this with it, or something like that. But instead, I didn't pay, because he deposited the money in a savings account for me. And the idea of saving is where it started with me. When I was 7, on the farm, the Redmond Farm in Saline County, Missouri, not far from Sedalia, in a county called Saline. I don't even know how they spell it, their county name. The county courthouse was in Marshall, a bank, and the bars that Jack Desmond took me to for people to watch me drink some beer for 5 cents a drink. I made it $1.15. That's a lot of sips of beer to get up at 5 cents a piece to $1.15. You do the math. And that's my story for tonight. Thank you for your patience. Hey, Happy New Year. Let's celebrate it by renewing the depths of our hopes and our fears, and knowing what's about to hit us, because we can expect our valley to fill up with water from the melted iceberg on Greenland and Iceland. And the only way we'll be able to get to Pont l'Evêque to go shopping is by boat. We will be inundated. It will be like the time of Noah when the floods came. But instead of taking everybody out on an ark, all the example of each species, we better go by spacecraft. Fueled by xenon, what else? Argon. Plasma. Somehow. For sure, but then it has to be irradiated, deionized. Could be Europa. Why not? Sassafras? Good night. From Godspeed.